Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Journey to Freedom. I'm your boy, StephenMotivate, and today we are talking about building a legacy. The legacy you build is not just the money you make, but the impact you leave. What impact are you going to leave behind? And today, that's what I want to get into. Hopefully, you've seen some of our information out there related to how to build freedom. I've been going live. I've been getting a lot of feedback from folks that, hey, you want to know how to build that freedom without quitting your day job, without working all the time, and actually using a side hustle to get to where you want to go in life. And I want to help you get there. But it's important that we're thinking the right way. We're thinking about what we want and creating enough margin in our life in order to position ourselves for the right things. Many of us are just thinking about money. Oh, I got to get more money so I can drive a Lamborghini, or I got to get more money so I can wear designer clothes. And really, wealthy people don't think like that. Wealthy people aren't concerned about their next newest car or the next designer clothes that's coming out. It's more about actually leaving a legacy behind. And we see this when we look at the way wealthy people use their money. And one of the things they do is they use their money as a seed planted in the ground to create more money. And I've said that to you guys multiple times, but today's slightly different because today it's not that you're just putting your money in the stock market, which we talked about. You're not just putting your money in a business and getting your side hustle going through Turo or through selling online or through providing a service. We've talked about all those things. It's not just about going and buying real estate, which we've said is important. Have you thought about purchasing a home? Have you thought about purchasing some type of property? We've talked about all that. And all those things are super duper important. But the other piece to this, the other thing that's going to help you build a firm financial foundation is you have to, what I call, leave something. Right? You got to leave something. Leave something for your future, for your children, for your nieces, nephews, for your grandkids, whatever it may be, you should leave something. What's up, everybody? Most of you watching are not subscribed. There's only one problem. I want to help you build your freedom. And in order to do that, I need you to come on this journey with me. So let's change that today. Hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Now back to the show. There's a verse, Proverbs 13:22, and it says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." Now, theologians argue, is this talking about money, or is this talking about just being morally good, where your good name leaves a legacy? And the Bible also does say a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. And I can say, even in my life, my dad passed in 2021. Great man. Did not leave me a ton of money, but he did leave me a legacy of doing right. If you go to Muncie, Indiana, and you mention Bishop H. Royce Mitchell, if you mention his name, people will be in awe. They will congratulate. They will have good things to say because he had a good name. And I really appreciate and I cherish that good name. And so it is important to leave not only money, which we're going to talk about, but it's important to leave a good name. Like, do you do things the right way? Do you interact with people in the right way? Who's going to show up at your funeral? Do you get emotional and upset so much so that no one wants to deal with you? Or are you kind, and do you care for the poor, the needy, the less fortunate? And my dad was that type of man. He cared for those marginalized folks. And because of that, I am the recipient of a good name. In Muncie, Indiana, where I'm from, the Mitchell name rings well, especially in the Black community and even in the white community as well, but especially in the Black community. My last name means something. And that makes me feel good. I'm proud. I didn't know then what I know now, that, oh, when my dad was out there doing those things, or when, he wasn't around that Christmas because he was praying in the prison or doing these things. The sacrifice that I felt then, now I realize, oh, that's why he was doing that. Because he knew more important than a Christmas and another toy or another gift was for me to have a strong last name. And that's what he left me. And I think it's important that while we're trying to build a firm financial foundation, we also have to leave something, right? Which is point number 4 around our framework. If we're going to build a firm financial foundation, we have to leave something. And it's not just money. It's also leaving a good name. Have you ever felt like you were just stuck, just like you weren't completely free, kind of like in a cage and you can't do exactly what you want to do or really accomplish the dreams you want to accomplish? Well, I felt that way too, until I learned how to create freedom for myself. And the best part about it, I didn't have to quit my 9-to-5 job. I didn't have to leave my family. I didn't have to forsake all of my friends. I just made simple steps to start really finding out, how can I build freedom for myself? How can I promote myself? How can I make decisions for myself and for my future that I can be proud of? And I want to help you do that. This Fuel Your Freedom Challenge is all about helping you get the tools so you can put the gas behind your dreams, put the pedal behind your hopes and behind your goals. I want to help you do that. I'm excited that you're here. Click the link. Let's get signed up, and I'll see you on the other side. Fuel your freedom. Get ready. But just because it's not just money doesn't mean it excludes money. You should also, if you can, if you have the knowledge, and this is no diss to my dad, he did what he could with what he had, and he did well, and I'm proud that he's my father. Wouldn't want anyone else to have been my father. But if you know more, you do more. If you know better, you do better. And what I hope you realize is that for our generation, there is a responsibility for us to leave something, not just a good name. We should leave a good name, and we should also leave some good money. You should also leave some money. You should also leave an inheritance. And that's why that verse, Proverbs 13:22, says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And yes, that is talking about a good name, but it's also talking about some actual tangible things as well, including money. And so how do you do that? If we're building a firm financial foundation, it's really simple to at least start on this process. You've also got to put your money towards insurance, life insurance. Life insurance is not like just, people think of it as almost like a somber, sad sort of thing. But it's really not just that. It's actually also a play. It's a move. It's a strategy. It's an investment. Life insurance is an investment while you're living. And so when I talk about leave something, I'm also saying you need to put your money in insurance, not just term insurance, but some actual whole life insurance that's going to grow and going to create a return for you. So let me just briefly give you the difference at my level of understanding. I'm no insurance expert, but I do know that term life is very cheap life insurance. It's based on a certain term, let's say 30 years. It's best to get when you're significantly younger than what you believe you will be. So if you're in your 20s, you need to get some term life insurance. If you're in your 30s, you need to get some term life insurance. And these are essentially inexpensive policies that can get you several millions of dollars if something were to happen. So let's say you have insurance of $1 million. If you pass away, $1 million will be left to your beneficiaries. Well, if you're in your 20s, you might be able to get something like that for $200 a year, right? Really cheap. For $200, I can get $1 million, right? Obviously, you don't want to pass away, but the thought is that if something happens unexpectedly, you will have done number 4. You will have left something, right? So if you don't have term insurance, at the very basic, you need to get some. This is a part of building a firm financial foundation. You want to know what wealthy people do? wealthy people have insurance. What you should do with your money should replicate or resemble what wealthy people do with their money if you're going to have a firm financial foundation, right? And so wealthy people will leave something. They will put money into insurance. Term insurance at the very basic. Moving on to whole life insurance. Whole life insurance is insurance that, in a similar way, you get it just like you do term insurance. If you get it, the younger you get it, the cheaper it'll be. It will be significantly more expensive than term insurance. But the biggest difference is that term insurance expires, where whole life insurance does not expire. It will exist forever. So term insurance, let's say you got it until you're 60 years old, a 30-year policy, you got it at 30, you're now 60. When you're 61, that insurance now goes away. They will not, if you die at 61, even though you had it for 30 years, you will not, it will not pay out. Okay. Whole life insurance, if you got it at 30 and you die at 61, which we're not praying that anyone dies that young, but if you do, whole life will still pay out because it's going to exist regardless. And so you need to get with insurance professionals. You need to get with folks that can help you in this area. But the whole point is that if you leave something for your children's children, you can also leave them some cash money. But it's not just for them. It also serves as an investment for you. Because insurance are big companies that have been around for a very long time, they have a good sense of how long people are going to live. They have a good sense of the money that is going to actually be paid out and not be paid out. So all these people putting money into the insurance company, that money's also like being invested so they can make sure that they pay off their policies when people actually pass away. And yes, insurance companies in some cases can be tricky and not so good. And in some cases, they will save money where they don't have to pay out, especially on things like term. You've paid this all these years and then, the term expires. But they have enough data and history to know exactly what investment is going to have a high probability of existing long after you're gone, if that makes sense. So whole life can be very much more expensive. Let's say instead of $500 a year, it can be $500 a month, depending on what level you get. But there are also policies where you can borrow against that money or borrow against what they call that death benefit. Most Americans now require a side hustle of some sort just to make ends meet. And I want to help you learn how to do it the right way. So click the link below or visit the website, and I'd love to help you get your side hustle started today. Right. So if I'm putting $500 a year towards something and paying my premium for my whole life insurance policy, and let's say $500 a month rather, and I'm doing that, there's going to be value building up in my portfolio, so to speak. And you might say, well, why would I ever put $500 on something unless I know for sure I'm going to get $500 back? Well, in the short term, it's not dollar for dollar. In the short term, it's not that way, and it makes sense because you don't have anything built up in the policy. But you also have to look at the alternative. If you take that $500 and you don't put it towards something that's going to grow and last, what else are you going to do with it? If you happen to have an extra 500, you're likely going to blow it. And this is the concept. And we're going to talk about this in another video, but you've got to start putting money in the right place so you can stop putting it in the wrong place. You've got to put it in the right place so you stop putting it in the wrong place. You don't even have enough to put it in the wrong place. And that's one of the things we're trying to do with your life is hack it in a way where you say, if I put enough money in the right place before I know it, I'll have a firm financial foundation. And so that's really what whole life is. You're buying insurance to the point where it grows over time, and then you become your own bank. So in some cases, you've not lost the money. You've just transferred it from your pocket to a place where it can grow and it can benefit you in the near term, meaning I can borrow from my policy. Let's say I need $10,000. Well, if I've had my whole life policy long enough, I can say, whole life policy, hey, I need to borrow $10,000 from my policy that I know is going to continue to grow and continue to, have a amount of wealth built up in it. So when I pass away, it'll be there for my friends, family, and beneficiaries. And so this essentially allows me to use some of that death benefit while I'm alive. And so I get to borrow from myself. And oh, guess what? You don't pay taxes on loans. So if I take a loan to myself, from myself, I don't have to pay taxes on it. So when you look at wealthy people and some of the things they're doing, they're literally not paying the amount of taxes that we're paying because they've put money in the right place for so long that they can now just borrow from themselves. And what some people say, you can become your own bank. You can be your own bank. You can sell yourself money, just like banks are essentially, when they give you loans, they're selling you money. I don't want to make this too complex, but what I do want you to understand is that you should leave something to your children's children. Hey, do you like what you're hearing? If so, let's not stop here. Click the link below and join my email list so I can come and provide you valuable information about your mindset, about the market, about everything you need to build your freedom. Click the link. Let's start today. And it's not just a good name. It also can be money. And so you need to look at, yes, get a term life insurance policy, but you also need to look at a whole life policy. And there's all types you'll see online, index, universal life, and there's all types. Talk with a professional. They will help you understand what the risks and what the benefits are and what policies you can actually borrow money against, right? And if it's dollar for dollar or, how that all works out. But either way, I can tell you that if you put money towards a insurance policy that will leave something for your children's children, that will allow you to leave a legacy, that's going to be better than putting that $5 towards another cup of coffee. Okay? It's going to be better than giving a gift to a friend that you barely know or that you're not going to know in another 10 years. It goes back to our principle number 1, where you have to pay yourself first. And a part of leaving something, yeah, you're doing it for others, but you get a chance to use it while you're still alive. So if you want to understand how to apply that, I'm sure you've seen that we've got a challenge coming up. We've got more information coming up, and I will actually walk you through how to apply that. If you want to be VIP, I encourage you to get that package so you can ask me questions and we can go through what I'm doing in my personal life and how it's helping me build a firm financial foundation to the point where I have freedom as it relates to my money. And I want that same freedom for you. Look, I hope that helped you as much as it's helped me. And as always, I just want you to do one thing in the meantime, and that's stay motivated. It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Until next time, peace.